by resting in this open sky like awareness. That's the one Machik will point us out to. Today's topic, Machik's last instructions. So there are many ways to go about this profound subject, profound text or poetry, whatever you may call. Some teacher may use this as a pointing out instructions, or some teacher may comment on each lines, like a commentary onto this, while some teacher may just explain based on their own direct experiences. So may not necessarily the literal commentary. It's called experiential commentary. And also some teacher may use this as a source of inspiration for devotion or trust in one's own true nature, which is no separation from Machik's awakened mind. This is such a profound text and subject, so I'm not qualified to give any experiential commentary. Nevertheless, I'm so inspired by her teachings. I have been inspired by her teaching her own life as a human mother, female practitioners, as well as she as a awakened being, Buddha, in this lifetime, in this generation, historical. And in Tibet, remote mountain Tibet, she awakened. It's so inspiring, no? I think maybe many of you or all of you are inspired. That's why you are here. I'm not sure all of you know about her life stories, but I'm sure you know Machik Lapton's name at least. So I'm just gonna dive into this text. Quite profound and long for profound subject. My intention here is to bring us some kind of experience within us, either feeling or devotions or confidence or trust in ourselves, what we already have, this true nature. That's the one Machik is pointing out to us too. This is a source of inspiration for me, at least. Just a little bit of context of this text. This text or this Machik's last instruction was part of her life stories composed by Tibetan masters Kunpan Sondu Senge, 13th century master. He composed the Machik's concise life story of Machik Lapton. Because Machik Lapton's life story is so inspiring, so quite a few, not a lot, but a few commentaries are composed. One famous one is translated by Sarah, Machik's Great Explanation, I think in there. And this one is a concise one, but famous, and translated by the Jerome Edu, 1996, Machik's Lapdon and the Foundation of Cho. It's a part of this. So this translation is his translation. This kind of teachings, Machik never write down, like writing article about Mahamudra or something like that. No, she was asked questions by her disciple, asked her to tell her whatever. Then she expressed verbally. Then it was written down. Here, Machik's last instruction, that's the title. But the last, LAST has a deep meaning as well. Last in the sense that this was the last time Machik spoke to her disciples, as well as last in the sense that the ultimate view. She was expressing the ultimate or absolute view. Since this month, Lakinis Whisper is focusing on the absolute or ultimate view of Cho practice and Machik's teaching traditions, this is appropriate share or explore together. Okay, first of all, I want you to imagine because we are receiving the Machik's last instruction. It's not like we are reading the college seminar, we are reading somebody's articles on Mahamudra. We are not doing that. That's not going to help to have a direct experience within us. So just imagine, take a moment again, settle, and imagine in that open expanse of awareness. I was talking about a cloud, right? In this case, Machik Lapton, like uncovered or emanate from that emptiness, a rainbow like a nature, perhaps in front of you. If you know her figure, her style or form, you can visualize that too. Or maybe she's sitting because she's now about to teach you, about to guide you, pointing out to you, to your true nature. So just imagine she appeared in front of you with tremendous generosity, love, compassion towards you, how your body feels like in front of her. Because of your cultivation of merit, auspicious connections, finally moment has come. She's gonna give you the pointing out instruction. She's gonna guide you. Then see if you can feel the openness of your heart. This humility, devotion, I call. See if you can connect to that. Over the weekend, I shared this Mahamudra prayers. One line is first revulsion. Revulsion is the foot of meditation. This sense of renunciation, renouncing this samsara, fixation to this habitual pattern. It's not going to work anymore. It never worked, but we were living in the delusion or illusion of changing the chair on the Titanic, which is about to sink into the ocean. See if you can have a sense of revulsion, renunciation, determination to be free. So that is the foot of meditation. Then next one is devotion. Devotion is the head of meditation. Actual devotion is the understanding of your own true nature, understanding of the true nature of what is. See if you can connect to the openness of your heart and mind toward that. Then next one, the awareness is the body of meditation. This awareness, Ripa, we are talking about. We are about to point them out to by Machik. Based on revulsion, devotion, awareness dawns. For 99 years, I have worked for the benefit of beings. Now this work is almost complete. I will not take birth again in this human realm, in a physical form, nor will I leave behind any remains or relics. I just gave a tiny bit of commentary. The rainbow body here talking about, there are many different levels of rainbow body. Sometimes the great master, realized master, leave the body, then leave some hairs or nail or something like that, or some master's body starts shrinking. Her case is a complete rainbow body, like Padmasambhava did, does not have any remain behind. She knows that she will do because she is awakened one, so she knows. Then she said, but my emanation in the world will be innumerable. But emanation, turku, emanated body, will be a lot to help sentient being. The only reason emanation body appear is to help others. So due to her unbearable compassion, bodhicitta, she appeared. Many will recognize them, but not all are recognized. So they will be perceived in different ways, depending on karma, pure or impure. Understanding this, my sons, depends on your level of your purification. You can see, you can view. If your mind is more purified, then rest in that pure view, then you can view, you can see that, you can meet with dakinis, you can meet with Machik Lapton. If your mind is not purified and completely covered by the cloud, dark cloud, then even dakini show up just in front of you. You cannot recognize it. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't mean anything for you. That's why we want to do this purification practice through practice. Practice itself is a practice of purification. Any practice can be a practice of releasing this obscuration, unveiling more and more pure gold, which is your own mind, true nature. Right? That's the path we are taking. Okay, fortunate heirs, keep this in your heart. We are fortunate one. We encounter Machik's teaching. We had the opportunity to even study this kind of teaching here right now. And also this moment, there are many other things you could have done, but somehow something auspicious causes and conditions brought you here. That's why we are fortunate. Fortunate heirs, keep this in your heart. My instructions on Chu are authentic teaching of Mahamudra. So this is clear, no? Chu is Mahamudra. Recently, I wrote articles on the 3 levels of Chu. The third one, Secret Chu, is this one, especially emphasis of the ultimate view of Mahamudra. So Chu is Mahamudra. Mahamudra, in fact, encompasses all the practices, whatever you do, even preliminary practices. I call the Mahamudra of preliminary practices, or Mahamudra of Tonren practices. So anyway, in here, very clear, Machik is equalizing Chu and Mahamudra. This Mahamudra cannot be explained in word. So Mahamudra itself is beyond expression or beyond words or beyond descriptions. Like a Tilopa said to Naropa on the Ganges River, he said Mahamudra cannot be taught. But because of your devotions, I will tell you something. That's how Tilopa's teaching unfold. So like that, similar here. In essence, or ultimately, Mahamudra is only you can taste it. You can directly experience it, cannot describe. But because of her compassion, she's gonna explain now. Now she's going over this etymology a little bit. Each great Mahamudra master has his or her own expression. So this is Machik's expression. Chak is the nature of emptiness of the mind. And Gya is a liberation from the vastness of samsaric appearances. Chak refers to emptiness, empty aspect of the nature. Then Gya is the liberation from vastness, samsaric appearances. So Chenbo is the inseparable union of appearance and emptiness. Chenbo means pervasive, encompassing, or the union of skillful means and wisdom, appearance and emptiness, relative and absolute. Chu itself is a union of compassion or skillful means and ultimate, which is wisdom, wisdom emptiness. Primordially connate, like empty space. Each word is so juicy, but connate is a technical term. Co-emergence, back order is translated co, and innate. Innately, indwelling a nature. Primordially connate. It's not like something later we made up. Each of us primordially we have. It's indwelling, like empty space. So when we meditated on this, like an empty space, vast, there's no obstructions, and a vast, just right there. We don't need to make it. We don't need to make an empty space. Does nothing. They do not do anything. Or like a source of everything, infinite source of everything. I don't know how you felt when you rested in this vast expanse of space like awareness. Did that do anything? Although source of everything, everything unfolds like a display of the or play of the cloud. Clouds appeared in the blue sky. No, but the sky itself doesn't do anything. No, just right there. That's nature. That's connate. That's primordially there. Primordially pure. That's nothing. Is not depending on anything. It's not the conditions like blue sky, like awareness. It's not the condition, not depending on anything. It's the source of everything, but nothing, not doing anything, and not depending on anything else. Then she's going to say, in the same way, mind itself. Now she's gonna explain the mind using this metaphor of empty space. Mind itself, natural and connate. Mind itself, actually, itself is important here. And mind itself, true nature, natural, not artificially made, or connate, already indwelling, already innate. That's your true nature. It's there. Has no support, has no object. There's no object, no support, not depending on anything, no fixation to the object. Because mind itself, we are talking about the nature of the mind. So sometimes the translation, when we say the mind, like Khenpo Ganshao did, distinguish from mind from awareness. So we have to differentiate this. Mind is the same. Mind itself means semuni, nature of mind. Then awareness is ripa, knowingness. Let it rest in its natural extent without any fabrication. When the bond of negative thoughts are released, you will be free. There is no doubt. So this is the meditation instruction, no? We started to meditate, something like that, without fabrication, without adding any mental construct or language or description or storylines. None of that. Just rest in the natural expanse, totality of phenomena. When the bond, then brackets said negative thought. I think this is Jerome's interpretation. I think not only negative, even positive thought, whatever might be, mental discursive, mental activities. The bond means fixation. When the fixation are released, no matter what kind of good or bad or whatever, joy or sorrow, whatever it is, those things are released, you will be free. There is no doubt. Even this 3 line, take that. Then when you practice at home, you can practice that today. As when gazing into space, now she specifically started pointing out meditation instruction. As when gazing into space, all other visual objects disappear. So this is sky gazing, for example. Doesn't need to be sky, but gazing in the space, this between, then resting in there. You can do that right now if you like. All other visual object disappears. So it is for mind itself. When mind is looking at the mind, awareness looking at the mind, all discursive thought cease, and enlightenment is attained. So this can be also practice. That's how she's explaining, but is that your direct experience? You can try and you can practice and see. Instead of superimposing or slapping the ha realization onto your direct experience, actually look at your own mind. You look at your own awareness. Awareness looking at your awareness, like a sky, looking into the vast sky. expanse of your awareness. Then all this other stuff dissipate, disappears. We just read the seventh Dalai Lama's realization song, right? The one line he said, just as the clouds melt away into the autumn sky, within my mind, inseparable from absolute expanse, all fabrication of perception and experience cease. So that's the line talking about here, same things. Then she said, enlightenment is attained. As in the sky, all clouds disappears into sky itself. Wherever they go nowhere. Wherever they are nowhere. This is the same for thought in mind. When the mind looks at the mind, the waves of conceptual thought disappear, as empty space is devoid of form, color, or image. So the mind itself is free from color or image. So again, you can do the meditation here, meditation exercise a little bit. Resting in the open expanse of the space, resting in that. That's called the Dharmadhatu, source of infinite capacity, infinite appearance, source of it, and yet completely empty. Empty and complete, full of potentials. While you're resting that, just bring up something, one thought or appearance we call, or waves or something. Then look at it. Here it said, look at the mind, looking at the mind. Awareness we are talking about. That awareness, looking at the awareness itself, what's happened, that conceptual thought dissipate into the expanse of space because it's devoid of any substances, devoid of any form, color, or image. Like a rainbows. Rainbow appears, like we can see clearly all these different colors. But then can you grab it? Can you say, oh, this is this? It's eventually dissipate because it's the nature, empty. Nature is emptiness. The heart of the sun cannot be veiled by the eternity of darkness. So too, the realization of ultimate nature of mind cannot be veiled by an eternity of samsara. This line actually reminds me of one of the Karmapa's realization song. He said, just the instant of recognition of the ultimate nature of mind dispel these aeons of darkness. Right? If you have that recognition, it's like a sun, great big sun, dispelling the darkness, no matter how long that darkness lasted. Like that. As the heart of sun cannot be veiled by the eternity of darkness, so to the realization of ultimate nature of mind cannot be veiled by eternity of samsara. So ultimate nature of mind and the realization of that is like a sun, sunbeam, heart of sun. So that dispel or cannot be veiled by eternity of samsara, long-lasting samsara. So that's why here our tradition, this tradition, Mahamudra tradition, we go directly into the realization and nature of mind. That's called mind instructions. That encompasses the realization of true nature of phenomena or true nature of reality or the truth or a synonym. But we go directly to the realization of ultimate nature of mind because that's accessible. We all have a mind and easier to realize that. If you have a connection to the lineage, you have an authentic teacher to point to guide you through, then that's the way. So not wasting time to go out to the so-called phenomena much. So next one, even though empty space may be named or conventionally defiled, it is impossible to point it out as this. It is the same for the clarity of mind itself, although its characteristic may be expressed. It cannot be pointed out as this. So this is what it is talking about, the two aspects of the mind nature, the empty aspect and the clarity aspect or luminous aspect. When we talk about the clarity nature or luminous aspect, we are not talking about just kind of clear and luminous light going, no, we are talking about knowing aspect. Right? Mind is empty, yet we know manifest all different kind of thinking mind or whatever display. That aspect talking about, that's a clarity aspect. Clarity of mind itself, characteristics may not be expressed because it's empty. We cannot say this. Like right now, resting in awareness, then allow some thought to come out, maybe, or feeling even, like a little movement of mind, maybe joy even. What is it? So that characteristic may be expressed, or I'm feeling joy right now. But can you pointing out this? Show me. What is it? Can you say this? This is the joy. I will show you, Kandora. Can you say that? Can you do that? No, because it's empty. The defining characteristics of mind is to be primordially empty, like space. So this is one of the defining characteristics of mind, empty nature. But not only empty, it's primordially empty, already, innately, already empty, like a space. We don't need to make it empty. This is one of the pitfalls too when we meditate on Mahamudra. People try to make it empty. We don't need to do anything because it's already empty. Allow it to be just as it is, naked and bare, vivid, and unadorned way, just as it is. The realization of the nature of mind includes all phenomena without exception. See, this is what I was talking about. Realization of the nature of mind includes all phenomena. If you realize the nature of mind itself, then you realize nature of all the phenomena without exception. You can put into your daily practice. Sometimes you read this line we just went over, then just rest it. Then see what your direct experience feels like. Then you get accustomed to it. Then bring that to your daily moment to moment experience. Once discursive thought are totally abandoned, Dharmakaya is no other than this. So Dharmakaya is a resultant state. I was talking about the Mahamudra prayers. The first one is the revulsion, second one is devotion, third one is awareness, this main practice. Then the fourth one is result. That is Dharmakaya. The essence of thought is Dharmakaya as it taught. Nothing whatever, but everything arises from it. To this meditator who arises in unceasing prayer, grant your blessing so that I realize inseparability of samsara and nirvana. Here, Dharmakaya is awakened mind. It's no other than this. Once the five poisons are totally abandoned, five wisdom are no other than this. Those of you who practice five dakinis or five families, very familiar how they correlate. Five afflictions or creatures are totally abandoned. The five wisdom, they unveiled, no other than this. Once the three poisons are totally abandoned, so three main creatures, desire, aversion, and ignorance. The three kayas are no other than this, so three kayas. Once conventional mind is totally abandoned, Buddha Buddhahood is no other than this. Once samsara is totally abandoned, nirvana is no other than this. Once mental agitation is totally abandoned, skillful means are no other than this. Once emptiness is totally abandoned, discriminating wisdom is no other than this. Once discursive mind is totally abandoned, fearsome places are no other than this. Once virtue and non-virtues are totally abandoned, gods and demons are no other than this. Once the six consciousnesses are totally abandoned, the six classes of being are no other than this. Once the eight consciousnesses are totally abandoned, the eight armies of demons are no other than this. Once wandering thoughts are totally abandoned, magical plays are no other than this. Meditative absorption is no other than this. The practice of the 4 daily session is no other than this. Here she starts talking about once wandering thought are totally abandoned, then all these things she's talking about, magical display are no other than this. Meditative absorption is no other than this. The practice of the 4 daily session is no other than this. Here point is no distraction. Again, Mahamudra text talks about the point is no distraction and no fixation. Then once discursive thoughts are totally abandoned, so she is repeating here, the practice of cho is no other than this. Yeah. So practice of cho is the non-discursive thought, non-distraction, non-fixation. The mindfulness is achieved. The level of final accomplishments is no other than this. Once the ultimate nature of mind is realized, definitive sign of realization is no other than this. Realizing the ultimate nature of mind is the key. Then she said this famous line, abandoning all bodily activities, remain like a bunch of straw cut loose, abandoning all verbal expressions of speech, remain like a root with its strings cut through, abandoning all mental activities. This is Mahamudra. All of these can be a meditation instruction for your personal meditation, which leads to direct realization of nature of mind. Just take a moment here. Just let go of this word or whatever you heard or even your reactivities. Just kind of dissipate or allow it to be there, but don't do anything. See if you can go directly resting at the open expanse of space, like awareness, which is your true nature, not conditioned, not depending on anything else, but the source of everything, completely empty, but full. See if you can trust that more and more, like ongoing confidence, trusting in that, who and what you are. Then all these appearances, joy and sorrow, fear and hope, all things, they're like a magical display, or like a rainbow. Come and go, play like a movie. So directly recognize your true nature and rest it, trust it more and more, and live from that place, whatever you do. That's called living presence in every moment to moment experience in your life. Then no failing, unfailing. Nature is love and compassion, sweetness. Because no blockage anymore, separation between you and others. Okay, just 1 minute. I want you to dedicate in your own way, if you like. Dedication means you put whatever goodness coming from experience today in this short session. May this benefit, or may this be the cause for the long term or maybe short term goal of awakening. May this benefit all beings. May this remove the pain and suffering of all beings right here, right now. May I be an infinite or intimate and benevolent presence in the world. Thank you, everybody. Such a juicy text. And also, it's nice to kind of chew on it. It's not about the finish. We never finish until we really come to the deepest understanding in our own direct experience. So just chew little by little and taste it. And sometimes share in this small group, also very inspiring. Any observation or how you can bring this practice to your daily life or anything came up for you?
Yes, thank you so much. It's nice to be here and to see you and to come back to this teaching and feel that sense of coming back, of coming home, and knowing that this is our true nature. And that's the piece, really feeling that in a felt sense, and then being in the relative only coming from that place.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm going to take with me. And yes, there is a lot to chew on.
Thank you for, the transmission and the gift. I could, it's just so precious. It's kind of this, for lack of a better words, the ground of being, just the luminosity. It's just so precious. Thank you for taking us there.
I think I almost understood what Mahamudra was, what almost. It started,
Oh, mhm.
yes, I've read 3 or 4 books on Mahamudra since I started my practice. And I don't think I've ever really understood what Mahamudra was, but I think I got close this time.
That's who you are. I was talking about the 3 mistakes we make. It's too close. I couldn't believe it. You know, so this kind of environment is so good. Reminder. When you are wearing glasses, then looking for your glasses. But then your friend or your guide or your buddy they said, "Oh, you are wearing glasses already." Mahamudra, that's who you are. You're already there. Sometimes we look everywhere in a different, but this one. Then hopefully future we can come back to eat leftover. It never gets rotten. This is timeless. This kind of teaching called timeless teachings. So we are so fortunate we encounter, and even we have this inclination toward that, toward that light, feeling of some attraction to this kind of teaching. It's so precious. So
Definitely.
yeah, treasure that.